So, I mean, this is news, I guess. As someone that is not American, I don't like know how big of a deal this is, but apparently it's a big deal. Apparently it's a huge deal and a dream come true, according to Cameron Brink herself, making the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition. And yeah, so see here from Sports Illustrated, the LA Sparks rookie will be featured in the magazine's 2025 edition. And Cameron Brink, who's the number 2 pick, is one of the athletes chosen. Her rookie season was cut short after 15 games. In fairness, she was pretty damn good in her rookie season. We're thrilled to launch the shoot. The remarkable group features Olympic medalists, world champions, record holders, embodies the next generation of all-stars. We've always celebrated the future of women. There's no better way to honor these remarkable achievements by featuring them on pages of our issue. She had a remarkable college career. And if you've ever heard Cameron Brink be interviewed, she's always talked about wanting to do it. And this, I think she is the first should be the first WNBA player since, I think there was 5 in, was it 2022? They had 5 WNBA players in it, like Stewie, Neka, Sue Bird, and Dee Dee Richards, and I have no idea who the other one is. But yeah, so you can see right here, introducing Cameron Brink, Sports Illustrated swimsuit's newest athlete. One of the most captivating athletes of generation. She said, I've always loved the swimsuit edition. She thinks it's super empowering. And yeah, she did talk about it when she was on the Paul George podcast earlier on in the year. And yeah, I think this sounds like, it seems like it's a big deal. It does, it genuinely does seem like it's a big deal. And for Cameron Brink, again, it's seeing WNBA players just in the media in any way is always going to be a big thing. Like, regardless of like why they're in it, like seeing these players in the media is always going to be a massive deal. And that's the thing when it comes to these players. It's like, the more these players are going to be our celebrities, the bigger, like, they're going to, well, the bigger the league's going to be. Like, obviously talking about Cameron Brink on and off the court, she's rehabbing, savvy entrepreneur, advocate for women's empowerment, using her platform to champion mental health awareness, create basketball camp Next 22, which she mentors young girls by combining athletic training and life skills. She's one of the early adopters of NIL opportunities. And obviously, yeah, like she's Cameron Brink. She's going to make a hell of a lot of money off the court. Let's just call a spade a spade. Like, she's going to make a hell of a lot of money off the court. And I think, as much as anything, this is like an entire, there is that entire movement in women's sports, and it is being led by these WNBA players. And it's not just that, like, if you look at like English football with like the Lionesses, even in Ireland when we made the Women's World Cup, there is this kind of thing when it comes to, or there is this boom in women's sports, and it's not just basketball, but it is really being led by basketball, and it's really being led by the young players. And the more these young players are out there, the more they're being shown in, their faces are out there. The more popular they become as people, the more popular they're going to become as players as well. Because, look, I've watched a bunch of NBA games this year. They're not that much more fun to watch. They're more fun to watch than, the Connecticut Sun. But, give me the Fever over 75% of it, of NBA teams. And that is just coming into the league. Like, when we're seeing these players obviously taking huge advantage of NIL deals, you're seeing Angel Reese in every single, you're seeing her at all these, Louis Vuitton events. You're seeing her as, this almost, treated like an A-list celebrity. People are like, oh, she's not. But it's she's, you are seeing Angel Reese in the same spots as A-list celebrities being treated in the exact same way. Angel Reese is an A-list celebrity. Cameron Brink probably will be an A-list celebrity. Caitlin Clark is an A-list celebrity. And And that's the thing when it comes to sports, is that you don't need every single player to be doing everything. You don't need every player to be part of every single thing. But the fact is that if you can't really go anywhere without seeing a WNBA player, like you're looking at like Adidas basketball, and obviously Donovan Mitchell is their biggest draw, followed by Dame Lillard. But like their third biggest draw might be Aaliyah Boston. So when you're going into these shops looking at looking for basketball stuff, like if you go into any Nike store, there's Sabrina Ionescu, there's going to be Caitlin Clark very soon, and Aja Wilson stuff, merchandise. If you go to Adidas, there's going to be Aaliyah Boston very soon. Obviously, if you've bought the Sports Illustrated Swimsuit edition now, you're going to see Cameron Brink. If you're looking at all these fashion shows, you're probably going to see Angel Reese at a lot of them. If you're watching golf, you're going to see Caitlin Clark. If you're watching games of Butler, if you're just looking at random things, you're probably going to see Caitlin Clark pop up. I mean, it seems like Sabrina tends to go into a bit of hibernation, but you're looking on the TV and these athletes are going to be everywhere. And if for the first time, it's not a case of like these athletes are just being pushed for the sake of it. The league is now relevant enough. And I will say this, I think the league is relevant enough, and the price to get these athletes to do commercials is, I think they're still extremely undervalued. Like, I just think when it comes to just in everything in advertising, like I'm a YouTuber. I've worked with advertising companies. I've spoken to companies about their marketing and how they'll put their advertising dollars. And they're like, because there's nothing like set with when it comes to online, and then like print media or television media, they've had years and years of experience. They know people in these companies know what to bargain. They know what players are worth, or what like they're worth, what their advertising is worth. Whereas when it comes to like YouTubers, you can kind of undercut them because they're not used to it. And that's the thing with the WNBA players. I think you can undercut them a little bit because you could be paying them double what they were, what you would have paid them 2 or 3 years ago, but they could be worth 10 times as much advertising wise. So I do think that that's part of the reason for it as well. But yeah, that is pretty much it. Look, this in isolation, it's not something that I really care about. A lot of people do seem to care about it. And like, it seems like it is a big deal in America. Like I'm Irish. I have no idea. I have no idea about it. But like, yeah, obviously, always anything that will get more eyes, that will make these players bigger names and get more eyes on women's basketball is a net positive for the sport. Whether it's Caitlin Clark, Cameron Brink, Angel Reese, Aaliyah Boston, Aja Wilson, Sabrina Ionescu, any of this stuff in a positive way, of course, because obviously Cheryl Swoops can get people talking about it, but it's always negative. That's a net negative. Anything that can be talked about in a positive way is always going to be a net positive.